Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 7. So, last time we had the Padawans going in, doing their thing, trying to blow up the reactor, while the two Jedis made a stand out front and made it look like that was the main assault. And they succeeded, almost killing themselves in the process, but our Jedis managed to save them after they got buried, so that was very good, and it was a pretty cool episode. And I talked about how I was surprised because most shows would have taken the moment to do that drama where they're like, oh, my Padawan's better than yours, and then the two Padawans would have been like, well, I'm better than you. And we would have had a whole episode about them like arguing about who's better and stuff like that. But they didn't do that at all. They respected each other, they got the job done, and no one ditched anyone. There was that one moment where I thought Barriss was gonna ditch I almost said Padme, that's not the right word, Ahsoka, but she didn't. She stayed. She fought the tank and everything. So it ended up being pretty good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode and seeing what we go into now, because that's, as far as we know, that was their like main goal, was to stop that droid factory, right? Like I don't think we ever took care of Poggle, so he's still out there, right? Unless he died when the thing exploded, but I imagine he got out of there. So uh, maybe we're still gonna be like on his trail to try to stop him, or we move on to something else. I guess we'll see. Or there's more stages to this that I just didn't realize. Either way, we're gonna start this episode here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I started humming early. Sometimes accepting help is harder than offering it. It's very true. No one wants to feel like they need help with something, typically, right? But offering help, on the other hand, can make you feel good about yourself. Like, oh, I helped people today, you know? Did they just say his name was Poggle the Lesser? Or did I hear that wrong? That doesn't sound like a nice nickname. It's like basically like saying Poggle the Mediocre. Yep, I figured he got away. Alright. Hey, it's Poggle. Ah, yes, I know exactly what he said. Oh, it's gonna be how she finds him. Are we gonna be following unduly? Maybe not. A Bacta tank. Is it like a tank that heals you in some way? Hmm. That's where you'd want to go. Yep, of course she finds the box. I wonder if we're gonna have to help her. Alright. He is dirty. This is when they realized white wasn't a good choice for their armor. Oh no! Was it the sandstorm or was it Luminara? Oh. Well. Turns out sand and electrical components is probably not very good. Oh no, they didn't even see it. They went right over it. Man, they zoomed right by that hill when they can't see where the, like, right in front of them. It's terrifying. Was that like a spotting thing? Did that thing see him? Oh. It's a trap. It's a trap. Hmm. What are those things? We keep seeing them. I don't trust them. Oh no, this poor guy. Did he make it all the way here? Uh-oh. Yeah, here we go. Alright. Okay, so we didn't even get to see what happened. We just jumped straight to storm over. They're here, so we're gonna see the remnants of whatever happened. Which also, to me, means that I don't think, Luminara 1. Luminara 1. In case you didn't hear what I said, or understand what I said. Did she get grabbed? Uh-oh. Not good. Hmm. Interesting. You think? Alright. The Bug Queen. What is that alert for? Man, his lightsaber cleared that? holding it straight up like that? Didn't feel like it was gonna, but maybe? Well, I would have liked to see how she lost, but I guess they're just good. By surprise, whatever that crazy bug is, I don't know, something did it. Okay. Is she gonna... Oh, are they like zombies? Nice. Cool to see some fighting that doesn't involve lightsabers. Oh. Ah, damn. That was cool seeing the shadow. I like that scene. What are they? They look like they're in, like, Egyptian sort of outfits, and they look zombie-ish, so it's like, what are they? Oh, it's some kind of parasite. You see that? It, like, crawled out of his nose. Yeah, oh, no, get it away. Oh, fuck me, dude. Just getting dragged into these little holes. All these rumors. Gotta kill the bug in their brain, I suppose, somehow. Which two are you talking about? There's like 5 of us here. Oh, okay. They knew. They're above you. No. Ugh. No, never suspect that when you're in enemy territory. Why would you just assume it's the wind? Is the worm gonna get in, like, our guys? And we're gonna have some zombie clone trooper. Oh my god. Hmm. This is a cool storyline. Ugh. Uh-uh. Well, I'm guessing they found the queen. Yep. I'd say that's it. Just pooping out more children. Ugh, the first person shot. Yep. Yep. They found it. Oh, I guess it's so dark they can't see. It's just lit enough for us to see. Yeah, why didn't they just kill her? Yeah, I was thinking about that. Okay. Yep. Alright, confrontation time. Do we have a translator here? Are we going to be able to understand them? Hmm. Oh, she speaks our language. One kind of voice that is. Well, I don't think it liked that. Well, oh, now they lost their lightsabers. Hmm. Well. This thing's creepy. Ugh. Well, there's the hive mind. What? You... What? Obi-Wan, Jesus. Is it possible he's already controlled? Okay. Light! Oh, nice, he had both of them. Cool. Well. Well. It was gonna be his pet. Alright. Bringing down the house. Fuck your queen! And hope they're fast enough before the whole thing collapses on them. Ugh! It's fast! Ugh. I was like, how are they gonna get him up there? But then they just tossed him. Oh! That's not good. Could they not have... I guess maybe it was too far away. I was gonna say, could they not have, like, force-pulled the debris down before they... Well... If the queen lives, I think she's gonna be buried alive down there. Until she dies. Oh, okay. Guess that works. Well, if the first round of assaults didn't bring that place down... Oh my god, it is, like, full-on... everything. Gone. You know, maybe you can ask Poggle. I don't know. I know Poggle doesn't, like, speak our language. That's it, by the way, guys, for episode 7. I know Poggle doesn't speak our language, so there wasn't much for him to say there. But I'm surprised there wasn't more of a reaction from him where, like, his queen, like... Unless maybe he didn't like the route the queen was going anyway. I don't know, like... See, I don't know how their species works, because, like... It kind of reminds me of Chimera Ants from Hunter x Hunter, if you guys have seen that anime, where they have, like, that hierarchy of, like, Queen Ant, and then, like, the... You know, they have, like, a hierarchy of command, but, like, everyone, like, worships the Queen Ant, and it's, like, ingrained in your brain, like... It's kind of like that hive mind, like they mentioned, but it's just, like, their first instinct is to... But it's always interesting when you throw, like, a little bit of sentience in there. Like, with Poggle, like, when they're not just ants and they're starting to, like, think and have conversations and stuff, could Poggle realize that, like, his queen is, like, using some crazy worm to, like, hive mind zombify her subjects and stuff, and maybe he was like, oh, I don't want this ever happening to me, so, you know, I think I'll just let these guys just kill her. Granted, he didn't have to go back to her when he was fleeing. He could have just stayed away unless he thought that was his best way to survive this endeavor, right? But I don't know. I just kind of wish we got to hear more of Poggle's side of things, like what what he thought of it, but it seemed like he was just like, the queen was about to be taken in there, and sure, he's handcuffed, I get it, but he could have, like, fought harder, struggled a little more. Like, he climbed out of that hole himself. He could have, like, dropped back down with them and made it way more difficult for the Jedi if he really wanted to. But it seemed like he kind of just followed them and went with them. And then even at the end there, he was just watching the whole place crumble, and he wasn't like, I need to save my queen, and, like, try to run back in and they stop him, or... And like I said, I know he doesn't speak our language, but he didn't even, like, and, like, try to run back in or something, you know? Like, he just, like, stood there and accepted his fate. But maybe that's how he is. But yeah, I hate worms going in bodies. Like, I hate all of that kind of thing. Not much grosses me out. I can see people being chopped into pieces. I can see, like, on TV shows when they do, like, autopsies and stuff, and they're, like, cutting into people and pulling organs out. Like, none of that ever bothers me. Like, all this blood and gore and stuff, like, usually doesn't ever get me in majority of shows. But there's like, some things that just disgust me. And, like, having something under the skin, I think it's just, like, the helplessness of it. Like, oh, like, what do you do? It's, like, in there, you know? And it's, like, I'm always scared of, like, whenever, like, a bug, like, flies near my ear or in my ear, I'm always scared it's gonna, like, get in my ear or something and it's gonna fuck me up. Like, I don't like the premise of that shit. So it's, they got me a little bit, seeing, like, the worm, like, come out of its nose and go back in. I was like, ugh, no. But it was cool to have zombies in Star Wars, though. It was pretty interesting, these undead things that... I mean, it seems like cutting off their heads mostly stopped them, right? They're saying, like, oh, we can't stop them, but, like, the first thing I would have tried to do was cut off their heads. But this is a world where maybe they don't have as much zombie lore, but my first instinct when I saw them was they look like zombies, so my first instinct would have been either go for the brain or cut their heads off. So, but they eventually got there, and... I do feel like the Jedi could have handled them. Like, I don't think the only option... I mean, I guess they thought so, but... I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the Jedi are super powerful, and then sometimes I feel like here, where they're like, a bunch of, like, weird, uncoordinated bugs are gonna stop you guys? Like, really? Freaking Anakin? I don't know. I feel like they could have handled themselves, but... for the sake of drama and tension, sometimes they make the Jedi. I talked about this a while ago. It's been a lot of episodes since I had this conversation, but yeah, sometimes the Jedi just feel insanely powerful, where they're, like, walking through a battlefield with 30,000 lasers coming at them, or, like, blaster shots, you know? And they somehow survive and don't get hit. And then, you know, they fight 6 bugs, and they're like, we can't do anything about it, we just have to bury them. And it's like, literally just chop them into, like, 37 pieces, just, like, wave your lightsaber around. Just blender them, like, and they're not gonna move anymore. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, if they beat everything too easily, it's not as interesting of a story. But I don't know, they could have, like, somehow made them a little bit more threatening while, like, giving it, like, a logical reason as to why they were getting overwhelmed by them. But either way, it is what it is. I still enjoyed it. Like, I liked the dark environment with the lighting. I liked one of the first-person shots we had of it. Made me, like, scary movie vibes, like, creepy what's gonna, like, jump out at us. Having, like, the zombie-ish theme in Star Wars was an interesting take on it. And, you know, having this Geonosian queen, like, it makes sense because they're a bug race, and a lot of bug colonies have queens and stuff like that, so... And I always liked the idea, granted it was a lot of rumors that just got answered right away, but I always liked the idea of these rumors of, like, these characters that hear these stories, like, who knows how long ago Obi-Wan heard some of those stories that he talked about, and then to, like, actually see it be real, like the Queen and the Hive Mind stuff. It would have been cooler if we heard it. I mean, maybe we did hear about it a while ago and I'm just forgetting, but it's one of those things where it would be cool if it was like set up a long time ago and then it pays off for the audience as well. Because it's like, ooh, does that really exist? I always love like those little mysteries where it's like, nah, there's no way that could exist, and then they find it later on and it's like, oh, it was real. Like those are always really exciting moments. But I like thinking of what it felt like for Obi-Wan to experience that. So um, I also kind of wish we got to see. I mean, once again, it was kind of them just telling us that it was too much for them. Like we never got to see how Luminara got grabbed. They theorized it was the Queen, but I don't think that Queen was getting out of those tunnels. Like, pretty sure she was like too big to fit through the doorways. So I don't think she's the one that came up there and did it. So I assume it was Poggle and those other zombie bugs that overwhelmed her. But it's another one of those situations where I wonder how she got overwhelmed when she can just like chop them up. But I guess they get too many of them come at you, you get knocked down, you drop your lightsaber, and like they stop you from force grabbing it for some reason, and then I guess you're overwhelmed. But it's just another one of those things where I was like, I wish I knew how it happened, but I don't know. So, oh well. But overall, I like the episode. I like the themes. It was interesting and thrilling to watch and stuff like that. So, and we continued on and captured Poggle. So, I don't know if there's going to be more Poggle stuff. Like, are we going to be interrogating him, learning more? Like, will there, you know how I said I felt like we kind of lacked any kind of like conversation with him? Like, no reaction to what has happened to his people, to his queen, to his whole planet in this battle. It's like, what kind of conversation are we going to have with him? Are we going to get any of that, or do we move on to the next thing? Or like, does something stop us while we're trying to get away with him? It really could be anything. So I'm looking forward to more, but I think that's pretty much all I got for this one. Thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me 2 episodes ahead of time through the early access tier. And then I have my Patreon shows as usual on there as well. So check all that out if you're interested in more content. Links in the description should be popping up on the screen. And I'll see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.